Here's your First Warn Weather Forecast First, sponsored by Anderson Collision Center. Visit driveanderson.com.
Well, the heavier rainfall we had from earlier today coming to an end, with the exception of a couple of lighter rain showers that stayed north of the state line. Now, we may see a light shower or two through about 7, 8 o'clock, but things are really starting to calm down, at least locally. To the south, that is a completely different story, as numerous severe thunderstorm warnings, tornado warnings stretch from Ohio all the way down through Oklahoma. That is where all the active weather is going to stay here for tonight. So our storm threat and our severe threat going by the wayside here this evening. 47 our temperature in Rockford, Freeport, 46 in Monroe. A little cool. You notice the wind chill factor down in the 30s in a couple of spots. So there is a cooler feel out there. Now, we do get a return of sunshine as we head into the day tomorrow. Temperatures in the 40s will drop back through the 30s. We'll look at how long that sun will stick around coming up in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Several state-line communities will ask voters to approve a tax hike. Some Ogle County residents say a sales tax increase isn't needed when the state already invests in education.
Plus, a bill in Springfield would allow terminal patients the option to end their own lives. Why medical experts are now disagreeing on this proposed law.
And a local sheriff's department wants to add more officers to its ranks. One recruiter says what you see on TV doesn't always reflect the realities of the job.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm David Greenberg. Illinois' primary election is set for next Tuesday. At the top of the ballot is going to be each party's race for president.
But further down, several communities will be asked to consider tax proposals. Among them is Ogle County. That's where Drea Baroni learned more today. And Drea, not everybody's on board.
Yeah, Mimi, David, voters in Ogle County are being asked to add a 1% sales tax. It's supposed to generate extra money to put into local schools. The funding would be used for things like renovations and repairs, paying school resource officers, and mental health expenses for students. For some schools, the tax could bring roughly $700,000 per year, but not all voters in the area are for it. One parent I talked to said he'd rather see that money go into education, not infrastructure.
Interest rates are high, inflation's high. I mean, people are getting squeezed all over, and there's not a lot of say in any of that. But here, we can say no today.
The referendum is on the primary ballot on Tuesday. Coming up later at 6, we'll hear more about the proposed tax from an Ogle County school superintendent. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Drea. Police arrest a Rock County man after a SWAT standoff. According to the Sheriff's Department, John Diggles is charged with reckless endangering of safety and possession of drugs and drug paraphernalia. Around 7:30 last night, officers were called to an apartment complex in Milton after reports of shots fired. Police evacuated people from the building while SWAT and a hostage negotiator tried to contact Diggles. Just before midnight, SWAT entered his apartment. Diggles wasn't there, but they did locate a person who'd been unaccounted for in a separate unit. Around an hour later, SWAT team members found the 55-year-old in a storage area inside the building.
Well, crime is down across the board in the city of Rockford, according to new statistics from City Hall today. This is for the month of February. Of the 6 categories, the city reports auto thefts are down the most from the same time last year, about 35%. Shots fired calls are 27% lower. Overall violent crime did slide about 16%. More than half of that, 56%, is domestic related.
A bill in Springfield would make Illinois a medical aid in dying state. The bill would allow people that have been diagnosed as terminal who are given 6 months or less to live to take medication that would end their life. It also requires a person have multiple doctors agreeing with the initial diagnosis. The terminal patient requesting the treatment must be mentally able to make their own decisions under the law.
There are 10 other states and D.C. that have access to medical aid in dying, and we know that there's not abuse, there's not coercion. Nobody ever has to take it. A doctor never has to provide this care.
Good care, as long as our patients live. Assisted suicide ushers in abuse, discrimination, and injustice.
Even if a patient requests this treatment, the law would allow a doctor to refuse it. The bill has not received a vote in committee yet.
Well, the top Democrat and Republican in the U.S. Senate are now split on the war between Israel and Hamas. Democratic Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says Israel's prime minister is in the way of a two-state solution. Also blames right-wing Israelis, Hamas, and the Palestinian Authority. Schumer says Israel should hold new elections once the war winds down. Republican Mitch McConnell quickly responding, saying Israel deserves an ally that acts like one.
The primary obstacles to peace in Israel's region are genocidal terrorists like Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad.
Nobody expects Prime Minister Netanyahu to do the things that must be done to break the cycle of violence, to preserve Israel's credibility on the world stage, and to work towards a two-state solution.
Meantime, Israel's prime minister said he'll resist international pressure and his country will eliminate the remaining Hamas fighters in Rafah. Israel does plan to tell nearly 1.5 million Palestinians in the southern city to seek shelter in central Gaza. Dedicated areas there will provide temporary housing, food, water, and other supplies.
A local law enforcement agency works to add more members to its ranks. The Winnebago County Sheriff's Office held a correctional career fair today. Background investigators and detectives were on site to perform job interviews, wellness interviews, and help with submitting applications. The Winnebago County Jail is the largest in the state outside of Cook County, with around 1,300 beds. Recruiters say even if you're on the fence about joining the force, it never hurts to submit an application.
If you're unsure, certainly give us a call. Our contact information is online. Give us a call, ask some questions on the job. We've had people that, hey, I don't know if this is the right career field for me or want to try it out. And they do, and they end up finding a good, successful career that's something they didn't know they would like or would enjoy. Maybe not exactly what they saw it to be on TV and found out it's better, obviously, maybe than shown on TV as well.
If you missed today's job fair, the Sheriff's Office is also accepting applications online. A link to their application forms can be found at our website, mystateline.com.
Well, 2 local organizations now partner to help children in need. Milestone is helping Goldie Floberg expand its service for youth with high-intensity support needs. Floberg is taking over Rockvale Children's Home. The campus will allow up to 25 residents to enjoy the comforts of living in a home-like atmosphere with some trained staff. Floberg's president says one struggle for many young adults with disabilities is finding placement in adult programs.
So our goal is to prepare them and get them in a good, healthy place in their life so that they have multiple options to choose from when they reach adulthood. And they just don't have to settle for whatever's available or possibly go to a state-operated developmental center when that may not be even necessary.
Floberg says its new site is only one of 5 centers throughout the state offering residential care for children with intellectual developmental disabilities.
Former President Trump's legal team tries to get his classified documents case dismissed.
Up next, those motions come as questions rise about the future of his election interference case in Georgia.
And coming up at 6, Janesville students use a special project to help change some children's worlds. Customized cars help kids with mobility issues get around.
Temperatures were a little cooler than where we've been the last couple of days. In fact, a good 20 degrees cooler from where we sat yesterday. Our numbers in the 40s. We've got a couple of lingering showers for some. Find out when that all comes to an end. Coming up here in the First Warn forecast a little later.
Former President Trump in court again today. His legal team's trying to get his classified documents case in Florida thrown out.
This comes as the fate of one of the prosecutors in his election interference case does remain in doubt now. Perry Russum is in Washington.
Today, former President Trump in federal court. His attorneys arguing his classified documents case should be dismissed. Trump's attorneys filing 2 motions arguing Trump had the authority to take the documents and that special counsel Jack Smith's use of the Espionage Act against Trump is unconstitutionally vague. Trump is accused of intentionally taking highly classified documents and obstructing the government's efforts to get them back. The former president has denied any wrongdoing. His lawyer today saying he designated the records as personal when he took them from the White House. No ruling from Judge Eileen Cannon today, but she appeared to be skeptical, suggesting dismissing the indictment based on the Presidential Records Act would be difficult to see. Trump's appearance in Florida comes as the future of Fani Willis, the prosecutor in his election interference case in Georgia, is in question. Attorneys for Trump and his 14 co-defendants accuse Willis of lying about her romance with Nathan Wade, a special prosecutor she hired for the case. Trump's lawyers argue Willis financially benefited from the romance, creating a conflict of interest. Both Willis and Wade testified the relationship began after he started working on the case.
In November of 2021, I hired him. I do not consider our relationship to have become romantic until early of 2022.
Willis has denied any wrongdoing and says she did not benefit financially from her relationship with Wade.
You're confused. You think I'm on trial. These people are on trial for trying to steal an election in 2020.
Trump has pleaded not guilty in both cases. In the classified documents case, the judge today asking prosecutor Jay Bratt if any high-ranking government official has ever been charged for mishandling documents. Bratt says there was never a situation remotely similar to this one. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Well, clouds stuck around throughout the state line, with some areas seeing a bit of showers throughout the day.
After the break, Candace tells us about a cool down headed our way and the chance for some flurries.
Now, your First Warn weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we are starting to see a little more breaks in the cloud cover take place over the last hour. More sunshine actually off to the west. This is a live look with our SkyTrack camera here looking to our west over downtown Rockford. You notice how fast those clouds are moving. We were actually just talking about that here within the break. That's because we've got some really strong winds in our jet stream overhead, so really kind of pushing that cloud cover. But with some drier air coming in, it has allowed pictures like this. Our SkyTrack camera out in Freeport. Lots of sunshine. You can see some of the clouds there to the north, where there are still some rain showers falling across parts of southern Wisconsin. And we did have some lighter rain for some spots here earlier this afternoon, but most of that has been to the north. A little drizzle, a couple of light showers still off to the east. So give it some time and we'll start to see things clear out. Have to say thank you to Kathy for sharing this picture, with some clearing that took place to the west of us over Stevenson County. Actually had quite a few rainbow pictures coming in, stretching from Pearl City up through Rock City and then out to Dakota too. Look at that, horizon to horizon. Almost looks like it's touching the ground there. So Kathy, thank you for sharing that picture. We are going to see our skies kind of clear out here this evening. We may see some cloud cover kind of fill back in once the sun does set, but partly cloudy skies are expected as we go through the night tonight. It is getting really active down to the south. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings stretch from Indiana right down through St. Louis and then back down all the way to Oklahoma. In fact, that is where we have a tornado watch that stretches from Ohio right down through Oklahoma, and now a new severe thunderstorm watch. So our threat for any severe weather, that is gone for this evening. And outside of a sprinkle or a light shower here, we are going to stay pretty quiet. Now temperatures are cooling off. 44 in DeKalb. DeKalb, your high temperature today, 61. That was actually just right about 1:30 this afternoon. So those numbers have dropped quite a bit. And for our weather watcher, Terry, down in Genoa, we also sit at 44 degrees, 43 that dew point temperature. So a little drizzle down there in northern DeKalb County still, northerly wind at 14 miles per hour. Had over half an inch of rainfall come down from earlier today. So as drier air filters in behind that low, we'll see some breaks in the cloud cover. Temperatures for us tonight will drop down into the mid-30s. Tomorrow, it's a return of sunshine, low to mid-50s for the afternoon. A little breezy from time to time, but should be a pretty decent Friday and a good way to end the week. Now, some cloud cover comes back in Friday into Saturday. This is ahead of a cold front. We'll see that cold front work through here early Saturday, indicated by some of the cloud cover and the shift in our wind direction to the west. Winds are going to pick up on Saturday, so it does get windy Saturday afternoon. Temperatures I still think are able to make it into at least the mid-50s for the day. But some colder air does come in once we get into Saturday night, and that'll drop our temperatures most likely into the 40s once we get into the weekend. So 57 degrees on Saturday, downfall to Saturday, going to be the wind, down to 29 though Saturday night, and that will put a chill in the air when you get up there Sunday morning. 41 for the afternoon. Could see a flurry or two late in the day, more so in the overnight hours into Monday, so can't completely rule that out. Temperatures will drop then as we head into Monday. Highs will sit right around 40 degrees. We'll see those numbers climb then back into the upper 40s and 50s by the time we get into next week. A little drier pattern setting up too. So outside of some lingering showers out there this evening and maybe a flurry or two heading Sunday night into Monday, things look a little more dry going into next week.
Getting back to average. Candace, thanks.
Scott's in next with sports.
One of the Bears' new free agent additions says he's ready to make his contract pay off in Chicago.
Now sports with Sports Director Scott Lever.
Now that the work of signing free agents has been completed for the most part, the Bears have begun introducing some of the newcomers to the media. Kevin Byard was first up today at House Hall, and he says he's looking forward to being part of what could be an elite defense.
This defense has a lot of great pieces here for sure, especially in the secondary. Obviously, just signed Jalen to a big extension. I really think highly of him. He's a really great player. And obviously, you know, getting with Brisker, Jaquan, I think he's going to be he's a really good extended player as well. Like was doing in the secondary, and obviously you got Montez Sweat. We're so excited about this defense and just excited about the prospect of what we can build in this team.
Well, the Bears did strike deals with two more free agents today, adding some depth. Offensive lineman Coleman Shelton and linebacker Amen Agbangaminga. They both get one-year deals. Now, Shelton has started 32 games in his career, most of them with the Rams. The Lions are quite happy with the job head coach Dan Campbell has done. They've extended his contract through the 2027 season. They've done the same with GM Brad Holmes. The Lions won the NFC North last season, and they tied their franchise record by winning 12 games. In the Fighting Illini have enjoyed getting byes in the first two rounds of the Big Ten basketball tournament. That's the upside of being the number 2 seed. But they are anxious to take the court tomorrow evening in Minneapolis. They were upset in the opening game last year by Indiana.
You know, we're trying to compete to cut nets down and win championships. And, you know, this league is loaded. You know, anything can happen. You've just got to go play well.
Well, the Badgers have made it to the quarterfinals. They destroyed Maryland this afternoon, 87-56. A.J. Storr scored 16 points. They advanced to play number 4 seed Northwestern tomorrow afternoon. NCAA tournament time means big business for the sports gambling industry. The American Gaming Association estimates that $2.7 billion will be bet on the NCAA men's and women's tournaments this year. That's almost twice as much money that was wagered on the Super Bowl. The first week of the NCAA men's tournament alone will top the Super Bowl's mark for betting action. That's sports. We'll be right back.
It's kind of hard not to notice that your 7-day has no more 70s,
Yeah,
not
they've
even any
gone.
60s up there.
We can kiss them goodbye for a bit,
Well,
right?
for a little time, I think, but we should see those temperatures. I mean, we will
kinda
see
spoiled, so.
Right.
We did, yeah. I mean, we had some pretty warm days. You know, the last 3 days we were in the 70s, so today felt drastically different, especially when you wake up with rain and some thunder and cloud cover.
Right.
But there's sunshine out there, so that does help out.
For
this
sure.
evening.
It definitely does.
Yeah.
And we avoided some of that severe weather, too.
That is all to the south. Yeah, the thunderstorms this morning really stabilized the atmosphere here and kind of pushed that warm front even further to the south, but it is really active further downstate. We've got a couple of lingering showers, some drizzle in a few spots, and even some fog that's kind of shifting a little to the east, so more over McHenry and still parts of DeKalb County. 35 for tonight. Should be a nice day tomorrow. 54, 57 with some wind on Saturday.
All right, thanks, Candace.
World News Tonight's up next. We'll see you back here at 6.